Hello everyone, this is Talk Time with Cynthia. I'm coming today and I'm reading another some more out of the black text, The Cost of Being Black in America. I'm gonna be reading more out of that, out of this book here, just so you know what it is. Okay. So anyway, and then I like to also make sure I point out that this is not about racism. This is not about hatred. This is not about vitriol. This is about helping us to figure out how we got as a nation, as a world, as a community, how we got to where we are today concerning this subject. Right? So that's not what I'm promoting. I'm promoting peace, love, and understanding. I feel like where we get understanding that, knowledge, then we can be better for it, right? So that's the purpose of me reading out of this book, to give us knowledge and understanding and wisdom to to know how to move forward. Because we all know that there is racism in the world, and some of it is misunderstood racism. So, once you understand, why you mad or why you angry or why you feel like you hate somebody or have a something against somebody, and you get all the information, then you're able to make a more informed decision on should I hate somebody, should I be a racist against somebody, why are they the way they are, you know what I mean? So excuse me, y'all, I have like really bad allergy. I'm always saying that because every time I get on here, I just, this time of the year, I just get like that, and I do apologize for it. But so we're just going to try to get understanding and clarification. And this book is by Sean D. Rochester, which is an amazing author, I think, and some wonderful, wonderful research. So I want to point that out too, because I don't want, of course, people thinking that I'm taking credit for research that somebody else did. I'm just reading the book and giving us some information and some understanding. So anyway, and I'm gonna also say, because I realize a lot of people don't listen to the end of my videos. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna say, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my videos. Let your family and your friends know what your girl Sin is doing, because we try to keep it popping over here on the positive side with love, peace, understanding, joy, and we just try to embrace, everybody in the community, not just within our own race, but in every race. And I feel like if we understand different races and try to connect and understand why we might feel like we feel the way we feel about them, then maybe we won't feel a way, because if we learn more about them and understand more about them, then we'll be like, we'll understand how silly it is for us to feel a way toward a particular race. So anyway, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, y'all, because you want to know whenever I'm uploading the videos. So anyway, so let's go ahead on and get reading so we can get a full understanding, right? Oh, and also, I just got a new subscriber. Woo! Yay! I am so excited about that. Y'all don't even know. I be so over the top when y'all subscribe to my channel, because let me know. I just feel like people want to hear what I have to say. And I'm gonna read. But I am so excited, and I celebrate each and every one of my subscribers. You don't even know how much I love y'all. I love y'all so much, and I got y'all right here in my heart. So anyway, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start reading. And we're still in part 1, and I'm reading different titles within the part. So this particular title is Black Text in the Job Search. And I do have other videos, so this is not the first one. So if y'all go and search for my other videos, I believe this is the 4th video here, right? Maybe I should go back and number them as such. Okay, it says, while you may not spend much time renting homes or offering rooms for rent on Airbnb, or even selling merchandise on eBay, you will probably have to look for a job at some point in your career. In 2002, my N sounds like N. So I'm from the South, y'all, and I'm trying to work on it. I promise I'm trying to work on it. So it says in 2002, 2 researchers from the University of Chicago published a groundbreaking study that examined discrimination in the labor market. The report was titled, "Are Emily and Brendan more employable than Lakeisha and Jamal?" Notice the name differences, y'all. And then it says, to help them get the necessary data, the researchers created a set of resumes, which they varied in terms of quality. For their purposes, quality represented the years of experience in an industry or function, the level of education, and or the caliber of the educational institution where the credentials were earned. Quality, therefore, should matter quite a bit. The researchers then randomly assigned names to resumes of the same quality. Some came from Emily, some from Lakeisha, some from Brandon, and some from Jamal. Again, we're talking about the same resume and the same quality, but different names. The researchers then responded to various help wanted ads in Boston and Chicago. What the researchers found was that resumes with the white-sounding name, especially Emily and Brendan, received 50% more callbacks. Now, think about that. If you don't get a callback, you can't have a conversation about your qualifications to convince the potential employer that you should be right for the job. They also found that resumes with black-sounding names would need 8 more years of additional work experience to have the same likelihood of getting a call back as a resume with a white-sounding name. Imagine to counter the biases triggered by having a black-sounding name, you would need 8 more years of experience. The researchers also found that as they increased the quality of the resume with a white-sounding name, the callbacks went up by 30%. This makes sense. Stronger credentials should increase an employer's level of interest. However, when you look at the resume with African American name, especially Lakeisha and Jamal, they found that as they increased the quality of the resume, there was a neglect. What? Negligible impact on callbacks. While this is truly remarkable and to some extent completely nonsensical, it is consistent with a study conducted by public-private ventures of nonprofit research organizations. Public-private ventures conducted a study on a year-long training program which helped participants develop skills valued by employers in specific industries. After the year-long program, women, Hispanic, and foreign-born participants all experienced higher employment rate. However, while the skills of the African American participants increased after the year-long training, their employment rates did not. Apparently, the characteristics that should matter most, experience, education, and expertise, have no impact, but your name, which should not matter at all, have a high impact. The University of Chicago researchers also found that the level of discrimination was significant and uninformed across industry and occupation size, or whether or not the employer claims to be an equal opportunity employer. What adds to the level of obscurity is that Jamal is of Arabic origin and means beautiful, and Lakeisha has roots in the Swahili. In the Swahili language and means favorite one. But in America, blacks are not only discriminated against based on our names, we are also required to have 8 more years of work experience than our white counterparts to get a callback. The level of discrimination during the job search is so high that researchers from Arizona State University found that white job applicants with a felony conviction gets more callbacks than black job applicants with no criminal record at all. A heavy black tax indeed. Okay, guys. Okay, so the next title, right, it's going to be Black Tax in the Legal Profession. Okay, so you've finally completed the job search, and you're in one of the most sought after occupations in the country. You're an associate at a large law firm. You're highly educated, hardworking, motivated, and excited about being able to advance in your chosen field and you're looking forward to accumulating specific significant financial resources to leave an inheritance for not only your children but also your children's children. To what extent does discrimination play a role in your ability to do that? Nextion's research and consulting firms conducted an experiment to see if there is discernible discrimination in the legal field. Nextions created a legal memo and inserted 22 errors in the memo. 7 errors were found minor spelling or grammar mistakes. 6 errors were substantive technical writing mistakes. 5 errors were errors in fact, and 4 of the errors were from the analysis of the facts. Nextions then sent the memo to 60 partners at 22 large law firms. Half of the partners were told that the memo they received was written by an associate named Thomas Myers, an African American, and the remaining partners were told that the memo was written by an associate named Thomas Ayers, who was Caucasian. The memo that each partner received were exactly the same. The name of the associate was the same, and the name was also a Caucasian sounding name. The only difference was that one group of partners thought that Thomas Ayers was black and the other group thought that Thomas Ayers was white. Nextions examined the result and found that the average grade for the Caucasian lawyer was a 4.5 out of 5. However, the average grade for the African American lawyer was 3.3 out of 5, which is essentially a failing grade for a high achieving lawyer. The partners who thought that Thomas Ayers was black not only gave him a dramatically lower score, but also had lower predictions for his success as a lawyer. So the black lawyer received a failing grade and the white lawyer received a passing grade for the same memo, and a much higher appraisal of his future success as a lawyer. Nextions also reported that the partners found an average the partners found an average of 2.9 out of 7 spellings and grammar errors in the memo written by the white Thomas Ayers, and 5.8 out of 7 errors in the memo found by out of 7 errors in the memo by the African American Thomas Ayers. Okay, let's think about this carefully. When the memo appeared to be from a black lawyer, the partners found almost 100% more errors than they found for the white lawyer. How unfortunate for the black lawyer and very fortunate for the white lawyer. For fewer technical writing and factual errors were also found in the memo by the supposedly white author. Can you imagine being a black lawyer at a top law firm where everyone is sharp and hardworking, but your work, even though it's the same as your white counterpart, gets 100% more scrutiny? The the fundamental problem is much more than the injustice in the massive tax on the black lawyer. If the black lawyer is unable to get on a track to become partner because of this kind of biases, even though the quality of his work is the same as his white peers, this could cost the black lawyer $11 million in earnings over the course of his career. This is an extraordinary tax to pay for an irrational bias that has nothing to do with the quality of a person's work. It is also important to note that only 2% of partners at major law firms are black, and less than 3% of all lawyers are black. Perhaps this tax is a driving force behind those numbers. What about other high growth, higher earning fields? In 2016, sorry y'all, let me roll it back. So it says a 2016 report by the British Medical Journal found that white males physicians earn 35% more than the black male physicians in the United States, even after accounting for the total hours worked. Experience and specialty. Let me read that again. So, even after accounting for the total hours work, experience, and specialty. Then it says a 35% earning gap means that black physicians are earning $65,000 less per year than their white peers. $253,042 for white male physicians versus $188,230 for black male physicians. Assuming a 35% tax rate and a 5% internal rate of return. Internal rate of return. Okay, it says this black-white earnings gap could cost a black male doctors $2.9 million over a 30-year period. A 2008 report from the American College of Healthcare Executives found that taking into account the educational level, excuse me, y'all, attained and years of healthcare management experience, white men earned a median $168,200 in 2007, while black men earned 142,400, or 15% less than white men. That's a 26,000 per year difference in income, which could amount to 1.2 million of after-tax income over 30 years, assuming a 35% tax rate and a 5% internal rate of return. Hire.com also found that black software engineers are the least well paid, with the average salary being up to 8.6%, less than their white colleagues. 115,000 compared to 125,000. That amount to a $10,000 per year difference, or 450,000 over 30 years, assuming a 35% tax rate and 5% IRR. That's a high tax for black doctors, executives, and engineers to pay. So, and then and this is going to be my last title in part 1 for this video. So it says this particular one is black tax in business financing. Okay, it says a 1998 study conducted by professors or Dartmouth at Dartmouth. Let me read that over, y'all, because I like for y'all me to understand what I'm reading and for y'all to understand what I'm reading. A 1998 study conducted by professors at Dartmouth College, Wellesley College, and Williams College looked at discrimination in the small business credit market and found that black-owned firms are twice as likely to be denied credit despite credit worthiness as white-owned firms. All things being equal, this means that black-owned firms receive less credit than their credit worthiness, which dictate black entrepreneurs also have far less capital and access to capital than white entrepreneurs. When starting and growing a business, the amount of capital available to a black owner is a primary factor in determining whether a business will fail or succeed. Despite the obvious capital handicap, the black business have relative to white business owners. They are denied access to capital at higher rates than their white counterparts, who have similar credit worthiness and far more access to capital. Researchers also found that interest rate charged to black-owned businesses were close to 1% higher than the rates charged to white-owned businesses despite creditworthiness. Therefore, not only are black-owned businesses being denied credit more frequently than when they are extended credit, the interest is higher than white-owned businesses with the same credit. Research also found that black businesses paid higher rates across credit levels. For example, number one, black businesses with poor credit were charged higher rates than white businesses with the same similar credit profile. Black businesses with fair good credit were charged higher rates than white businesses with the same similar credit profile. And that's number two. And then the third one is black businesses with excellent credit were charged higher rates than white businesses with the same similar credit profile. This follows the same trend in the residential mortgage market. 15 years later, in 2013, the same business administration, small business, sometimes I do that, y'all, and I apologize. 15 years later, in 2013, the Small Business Administration conducted another study which found that minority business owners of young firms were significantly less likely to have their loan applications approved than were similar white business owners, even after taking into account factors such as industry, credit score, legal firm, and human capital. The result also suggested that blacks and Hispanics relied less than whites on formal financing channels such as bank financing, even after considering credit worthiness and wealth levels. This of course makes sense since they are being denied more often than they should be and are being charged higher rates than their credit requires. This tax on black-owned businesses is particularly significant because black-owned businesses employ about 6 million fewer people than they otherwise should, based on the population of black Americans as a percentage of the total U.S. population. Clearly, the negative impact reverberates throughout the community. the funding challenge associated with Black businesses is so stark that in 2007, Black-owned small businesses received less than 2% of all loan money distributed through the Small Business Association. This is further supported by a Pepperdine Private Capital Asset Index report that found that only 1% of the certified African American owned businesses they sampled were able to procure a Small Business Association backed loan. Okay, that's it, guys. So hopefully I've given you guys something to think about, because I think this is so important for us to know this information so that we can better help our community. Because if we get this fairness in the Black community and Hispanic communities or whatever, whoever is not being fairly treated, then that's how we create more jobs. In my mind, from what I'm reading now, it seems like that we create more jobs when we create more businesses in different races, in different communities, right? So, and once we create those jobs in different communities, then the communities that are being treated fairly for its loans, for its capital, and being able to borrow and being able to get their business, won't be overrun with people and they're not seemingly not being able to be enough jobs. So if we do and treat people fairly and allow them to succeed and thrive, then we create jobs. So, and amongst other things, right? And then so people will be able to leave their kids legacies, and then then it won't be so many people on welfare food stamps, and that's just 1% of people are on welfare and food stamps. But and not saying anything against people who are on welfare food stamps, because I don't know their walking life, I don't know what they go through, right? I've been on them myself. I've been on, not welfare, but I've been on food stamps myself. So I know what it is to have a need and have that need fulfilled, so that you can progress in and move from one point to the other. But that way, if you allow people to thrive, then you won't have 10, 20, 30-year welfare food stamp recipients, right? Because you're moving out of the way and allowing people to thrive, and not thinking, having a mindset of there's not enough for everybody. Because if you allow people to thrive, give them the loans and do whatever so that they can do whatever they need to do. Because I'm telling you guys, we are not these people. We're not these. I'm not saying there's no racist people, but as huge as it being shown, it is not that huge. You do have people who want to thrive. You do have people who want to make it. But then when you have these roadblocks, and I'm not going to point no fingers, I'm not going to be naming people or races or nothing like that. But when you have, and I guess to a certain point, you have to solve the problem. But at the same time, then you won't have these crazy roadblocks when people try to succeed in life and get things done. Allow people to get things done. Allow ways to be people to make their own way, because there are people out there that want to make their own way, and this is another subject, especially when these men who's been incarcerated and they've done their time, and then there's so many roadblocks put up for these people, men and women, black and white, so that they can't succeed in life. And then we judge them and we put up so many roadblocks for them not to make it. So that's not how we treat our brothers and our sisters. We treat them with love, compassion, and understanding, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close out on this this video. And tomorrow I'm going to post another one, reading on in the black text. Okay, we're going to be reading on in the black text, the cost of being black in America. So yeah, so that's what I want to do. We just want to figure out how we can just make sure that people, you know, because everybody love their family and they want to make a way for their family, and they don't want to lean on other people to do it. They want to be able to be independent to a certain extent. I mean, we can't be completely independent from one another because we need each other, because we need to buy each other product. We need to buy it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna just go ahead and close out this video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel, listening at what I have to say, and being interested in what I have to say. And I want to say yay to my new subscriber, and woo to my old subscribers. And I love you guys so much. I love you so much. And I will talk to you guys later. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to tell your family, your friends what the Girls Tent is doing, because we try to keep it popular on the positive side. And, you know, with love, understanding, we don't want no negative comments, no negative people. We just want people that want to make a difference and want to make a change in the world that we live in, because we love the world that we live in. And that's what we want over here. So if that's what you own, please don't come over here. I'm not desperate to the point that I take anybody. Don't come over here. If you negative and you ain't trying to help, please don't hurt. And I love you too. And I love you too. Right? It's because I love everybody. Because what's the point of hating people? It doesn't make, to me, it doesn't make sense. It's not profitable. It's not, it doesn't accomplish anything. All right, love you guys. Bye. Hey, and bye, new subscriber. Bye. Bye. I love you so much. Bye.